Welcome to Wargroove. After a failed attempt to record my live GoW4 match, I decided instead to give you guys a great picture of what GoW4 looks like. I'm going to show you a different match that's already happened, Killsauce versus Shu. Now, Shu is the favorite to win GoW4. And as you can see, Valder is pacing in place, very excited to get underway. So Valder takes this village, the sword takes that village. It's the classic opening here on Gilgamesh with a double sword start. Some Valders try to take that village on the mountains, but it kind of takes too long and it's not really that optimal. Alright, I'm going to skip some of the capture animations here. Valder's moving forward, made sure to get into position to take either of these two villages next turn. Going a little bit quick because this is just the opening of the game, and if you've seen matches on Gilgamesh, they all look more or less the same, with lots of swords taking lots of early villages and getting a big lead. Now this sword decided not to move too far, just stopped short of Valder, staying out of range. This gives Valder the ability to go for that heal over here without having to worry about decapping this just yet. Lots of swords going forward. Valder chose not to harass this either, so neither player is harassing the side villages. But Valder uses that early mage to decap that corner village in the mountains, and Ragna built an early mage to do the exact same thing. We're going to see this village in the corner go down. Just about everything has been captured by the end of turn 4, and we're finally going to see this match get underway. Now, one important thing to pay attention to is both sides have started building some pikes without really making any knights or more powerful units just yet. We're going to start to see those come out soon, though. Valder's playing very aggressive and steals a village away from Ragna, getting groove immediately because Valder is the fastest charge commander in the game. Valder is a necromancer, able to summon only a 100 gold sword, the weakest unit in the game, but his groove is fast charge. Sorry, very fast charge, meaning a single kill gives Valder instantly the ability to use groove on their next turn. This means Valder can just surround you with weak little skeletons that actually are pretty good when you have enough of them and an army backing them up. That being said, Killsauce was a little bit surrounded here, so they decided to back off and focus their attack on here, further away from the enemy commander Ragna. Big damage with sword crits, because swords crit when standing next to the commander, is able to whittle down the opposing swords, and we see two alchemists coming in to scare away that dragon that Ragna has. Ragna's going to come forward, also playing very aggressive, taking out a village and farming groove. Ragna has a slow charge groove, needing 4 kills to achieve the same amount of groove charge as Valder for just 1. But Ragna's groove is very powerful. She can leap across the map and deal tons of damage. Alright, Ragna's being very aggressive with her army and sending the dragon down. As well as we see dogs coming out for a very high tempo play, lots of very fast aggressive attack. And a giant was built to defend the home stronghold. We see knights going forward, and an alchemist crit instantly takes out that pike. Big damage from Valder. Valder can now take out that sword for free, and use the remaining swords to deal big damage to all of Ragna's forces. Valder chooses to take the mountain position here to try to scare off Ragna a little bit, and is moving the dogs in position to counterattack everything here. Even though there's a dragon near Valder, there's just not enough here to finish Valder off, so it's a pretty safe position. Ragna uses the dragon to do huge damage to the knight, but actually starts retreating because Valder has started to gain the upper hand in unit count. Everything retreats, although the sword goes into the mage to deal some good gold efficient damage. There's Valder goes, again using groove to summon another sword, taking advantage of that sword to chip away at this village. And we see Valder with their own dragon coming out now, because really, these mages are a little bit far behind and there's no anti-air in the northeast side of the map. The mages finish off this village, giving Valder a small advantage in economy, and Valder captures it. Now Valder has a huge army. Let's see if we can take a look at the exact lead Valder has here. Wow, a 10 unit count difference. That's pretty big even for Valder. Valder really wins by just massing troops. Keep in mind, 2 of those unit counts are the village difference, but it still matters because Ragna has to attack and free those villages. I'm not really sure why Ragna didn't attack the village with the dragon first to weaken it, so that she could get groove charge from killing it. That might have been a mistake, or maybe they wanted to do like a 2-turn thing there. Meanwhile, Valder uses a dragon to one-shot a road village, because the dragon crits anything on a road, including a village, and then captures it. There's this huge economy advantage here in favor of Valder. Look at this. Valder's just pressing forward, continuing to harass and attack villages, taking count of all these crit conditions. The mage crits on the mountain, the swords crit when they're next to their commander, and Valder keeps spawning this ever-growing army that Ragna can't contend with. Ragna was able to match the economy aggression by taking villages in the south here, and is starting to push into Valder to slow their northward advance. With an army of pikes, that'll be pretty difficult for swords to push into, for knights to push into. There's a golem there. This whole thing is very tough for Valder's composition to fight. But Valder keeps going, keeps taking villages, and is not deterred. Using a mage heal for a little bit of health on the mage itself, the knight, and this sword, Valder presses forward and gets groove again. What is this, the 3rd or 4th Valder groove? That's very fast charge for you. However, Ragna finally has her own groove, which is very powerful. We might see that come into play soon. Valder's sort of spreading troops out so they don't all get hit by the Ragna groove if she chooses to go in, but is also being very aggressive. This is a little bit risky because Valder's positioning could be flanked by Ragna going in with this dragon and all the units on top. And there it is! There's the Ragna groove. Take a look at that. Ragna lands on road, which is really dangerous when there's a dragon in play, but the dragon's kind of too far away to do anything. Taking advantage of the damage from the Ragna groove, the troops go in, but Ragna really wasn't able to hurt that many units, though it did open the door for all these attacks and kills. It's pretty good, but Ragna no longer has groove, so that has to be enough to hold out against Valder until Ragna gets groove again. Still, we see lots of mages here to deal with the dragon. We see a golem here at full health, healed by the mages, protected by a balloon. I don't see how Valder could possibly fight into this. That being said, we see a witch hex go off, dealing damage to Ragna and all the troops around her. The swords are able to take out the units in front of Ragna, and there's a knight crit. Huge damage to Ragna. Huge damage. Wait a minute. Is Ragna going down? Is this it? That's enough for a lethal right there. Valder just took out Ragna. This was a huge upset, guys. Huge upset. Everyone thought Shu would just wipe out the competition and take first place, but Dr. Killsauce came in and took Shu down with Valder. Alright, let's talk about that match. So Valder's biggest advantage is getting an early advantage. It's said that on certain maps, Valder is unstoppable if you're a good Valder player at getting an early advantage. The only way to win is to hold off, pull back, and make sure to get a big enough army that you can deal with Valder. Ragna didn't exactly do that. Ragna tried to be aggressive and fight into Valder where Valder was strong, where Ragna wasn't. And Ragna didn't really get a lot of damage and value out of that groove. She didn't really kill more things than Valder created, let alone killed with his creations. Alright, this has been a Groove of War tournament level match. Let me know if you guys like this style. I tried slowing down the movement animations, adding some combat animations, even though I skipped most of them, to sort of make the replay play a little bit slower, a little bit more entertaining, since we couldn't get it in live time. Let me know in the comments below if you like this format, if you want to see more videos like this, or something else. That's all for now, and as always, welcome to Wargroove.